Recording started.
Okay. Um, Good evening to everyone. Hope everyone's doing well on this fine October day. Um, Definitely things have heated up in the political sphere in the last 24 hours, as we all know, and that's probably distracting us from business quite a lot. But it is time to get to a couple of important matters that we are looking to look at before the next term could shake up a lot of stuff that's been going on. So, with that in mind, we're going to mainly look at bill number 36 today, which is the Sales and Wage Tax Act. Um, that is number one priority. And if we have time, we're going to at least discuss Constitutional Amendment 7, which has to do with um, the judicial system revamp that we've been working on for several meetings now over the past couple terms. So with that in mind, so does anyone need the link to the bill? Everyone got it?
I do.
I'll just paste it there just in case. Yes.
Yep.
Josephine Gray. Yeah.
It has been posted
can-
to the MC chat.
Yeah. So anyone. Okay. So that in mind, I guess I will go ahead and do the thing now. So, bill number 36, Sales and Wage Tax Act. Looks like originally written on September 15th. Kind of been a bit far back on that. So, Article 1, Purpose, Clause 1. Purpose of the bill is to overhaul how tax is collected in the Republic of Melodia. This bill will abolish property taxes as they have been shown to reduce interest in building and misrepresent citizens' wealth, causing them to, in some cases, to be unable to accumulate wealth even with high-paying jobs. In its place, this bill will establish a sales tax levied upon Melodian companies and a base tax levied upon all Melodian citizens, varying in value depending on their expected income. Article 2, or wage tax instead of base tax, I guess.
My bad.
In its place, this bill will establish a sales tax levied upon Melodian companies and a wage tax levied upon all Melodian citizens, varying in value depending on their expected income. Any questions on that?
No, sir.
Finally.
Okay. Article 2, starting from scratch. Section 1, law removals. Clause 1, the Property Tax Act, the Tax Revision Act, and Second Tax Revision Act shall be removed from Melodian law and archived appropriately. Article 3, sales tax. Section 1, tax logging. No earlier than the first day of each month and no later than the fifth day of each month, all Melodian companies and organizations shall be required to disclose the following information. A, the revenues a said company or organization received within the previous month, the names of the companies working for said company or organization, and how many sovereigns each employee was paid within the previous month. Clause 2. Failure to provide accurate information or intentionally providing inaccurate information before the third day of each month shall lead to a charge of fraud. If the false information leads to a lower sales tax than mandated, an additional charge of tax evasion. Both charges will be elaborated on in a later article of this bill. Clause 3. Upon receiving the tax information from the Melodian companies and organizations, the executive branch must log this information in a publicly accessible document. Section 2, tax collection. Clause 1. On the 8th of every month, all Melodian companies and organizations shall owe sales tax to the Republic of Melodia equivalent to 17% of their total revenue within the previous month rounded up. The tax is valued in sovereigns, but may be paid with goods of an equivalent value if an arrangement is made with the executive branch. Clause 2. If the owed sales tax is only partially paid, the leftover money owed for sales tax shall be combined with the sales tax of the next month. If it is deemed that a company or organization is continually paying tax only partially, the executive branch may charge the owner of the company with tax evasion. Clause 3. If the owed sales tax is unpaid, the executive branch may charge the owner of the company or organization with tax evasion. The court may drop the charge if the company owner is found to be unable to make an attempt to pay sales tax. Article 4, Wage Tax. Section 1, Wage Categories. All Melodian citizens shall owe a certain amount of sovereigns, with the amount depending on each citizen's wage. Wage categories are listed as below. Wageless bracket. All unemployed citizens shall be placed in this bracket. They will owe 100 sovereigns every month on the same day that sales tax is due. Wage bracket. All employed citizens shall be placed in this bracket. They will owe 23% of their income for wages within the previous month every month on the same day that sales tax is due. If 23% of a citizen's income from wages is less than 100 sovereigns, that citizen will owe 100 sovereigns instead in tax. Clause 2. To verify wages and employment status of every Melodian citizen, the information gathered in Article 2, Section 1, Clause 1 shall be used. Clause 3. All Melodian citizens' wage tax shall be rounded up after it has been calculated by the executive branch. So, any thoughts on that so far?
I guess the first thing that comes to mind is like one-off jobs. Like I know that I've definitely been like, hey, level this property for me, I'll give you $10.
That's contracting. That's not really employing in my
Okay, so
personal
we're just
view.
not
Yeah.
going to tax it,
I mean,
even though it's income.
maybe in the future, but for now,
Okay.
no.
Just curious.
Okay. Anyone else? Any citizenry? Okay. Section 2, tax collection. On the 8th of every month, all Melodian citizens shall owe wage tax to the Republic of Melodia. The tax is valued in sovereigns, but may be paid with goods of an equivalent value if an arrangement is made with the executive branch. If the owed wage tax is only partially paid, leftover money owed for wage tax shall be combined with the wage tax of the next month. If it's deemed that a citizen is continuously paying tax only partially, the executive branch may charge the citizen with tax evasion. If the owed wage tax is unpaid, the executive branch may charge the citizen with tax evasion. The court may drop the charge if the citizen is found unable to make an attempt to pay wage tax. Article 5, Criminal Charges. Preface. Clause 1. The sections below shall be added to the Criminal Code and Sentences Act appended to the end of Article 5. Section 1, Fraud. Clause 1. Fraud is when a player submits false information to any official Melodian government forms. If public labor is chosen as the sentence, the duration will fall between 5 to 40 minutes. If a fine is chosen, the amount shall be evaluated in the range of 20 and 600 melons. Which, by the way, we're going to make an amendment in the future that will change all the melons to sovereigns, which is why we're doing it this way. Clause 4. If ban time is chosen in the sentence, the duration will fall between 2 hours and 10 days. And then tax evasion is when a player performs one or more acts that serve to reduce their taxes below what they legally owe. If public labor is chosen, the duration is 20 to 120 minutes, so 2 hours. If a fine is chosen as the sentence, the amount should be 1.5 times the sovereigns that are still owed to the Republic of Melodia by the defendant. And if ban time is chosen as the sentence, the duration should fall between the range of 12 hours to 20 days. Hello.
Hello there.
All right, Legate has joined us. Welcome. Right as I got
Hello.
finished reading the bill. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just got to log the e-find.
I think ISO lost his position when he was convicted, right? Position as member of parliament.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's 3 of us? No, it's 4 because
just 2.
Oddball.
Yeah.
Just 2.
Yeah. That was before the election, I believe, last time.
So we have
You
5 seats.
No, ISO's here
No.
as a citizen. Sorry.
Who? Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, no, we have 21 citizens, so 4 seats.
All right. So we were saying, Sales and Wage Tax Act, we're going to stop property tax, right?
Yeah.
and we're replacing
Property
it.
tax is gone.
Yeah, we're going to replace it with a sales tax levied upon Melodian companies and a wage tax levied upon all Melodian citizens, varying in value depending on expected income. So basically, the wage tax. I'm just going to give you the.
Article 2's name sounds too informal. What if we change it to something more formal, like
I thought about that, but there's really no other word.
reinitiation? So something having to do with resetting, rebooting. Hmm. The dog is barking at something. I don't know what it is.
It's
It's not
okay.
my dog. It's not my dog. It's a neighbor's dog. My neighbor has like 12 dogs or something like that,
Oh damn.
or had.
Uh-oh.
Complete
Until
reformation.
you got rid of them.
and-
Question mark? Maybe.
No, I don't think of.
Los Perros de Chile. Awesome.
Complete reformation. That's a good way of putting it.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, let's do that. And
The
then basically what you need to know is there's going to be 2 new crimes: fraud, which is when a player submits false information to any official Millennium government forms, and tax evasion, which is when a player performs one or more acts that serve to reduce their taxes below what they legally owe. You can read them specifically, like what the punishments are, but they're fairly light, I would say.
No earlier than the first day of each month, and no later than the 5th day. So within a span of 5 days.
Yep.
All in the beginning of each month. All Melonian companies and organizations shall be required to disclose the following information. So we'll have a form for the Melonian companies
Yep.
where
Melania
revenue
is going to
will
have
be
a tax
indicated,
form.
previous month revenue, the names of the employees, and the sovereigns of each employee. So basically, they're going to talk about revenue and lost revenue due to, say, wages and stuff.
No, the
They
revenue
calculate their revenue, basically.
either calculate or just keep track of it like I do for my companies.
Yeah. Will the government just keep... I guess the government can also just calculate it for you, as long as you send them the information like, oh, I paid my employees this, and I earned this last month, so make your calculations.
Oh yeah,
Make the math.
I mean, if a company says, I pay my employees like 160 sovereigns weekly, then the government can just multiply by 4.
Yeah. Alright. Failure to provide accurate information and intentionally shall lead to a charge of fraud, or intentionally providing inaccurate information before the 3rd day of each month.
That
Before
is
the
a
3rd.
typo.
5th. Alright, I'm glad I pointed it out. We don't want that. We don't want a lawyer abusing that.
Right.
And if the false information leads to a lower sales tax that is mandated in this bill, an additional charge of tax evasion. So basically, if you not only you lie, but you also do it successfully, so you get less tax, you get both fraud and tax evasion charges.
Yeah.
For receiving the tax information, the executive branch must log out the information in a publicly accessible document. One day we'll be big enough to have our own Ministry of Finance, I'm sure.
We
Like
have one.
Oh, I'm more like a whole board of accountants, even for a Minister of Finance, for the Ministry of Finance.
We had that a little bit.
A little bit. It was one accountant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That works. Then Pod retired, didn't he?
No, not
He got
officially.
promoted. He got
Oh, yeah,
promoted to.
Oh, he's a minister?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is the Minister of Finance right now.
I didn't see that part. Hold on. What? I feel like Tava, the first, realizing that he's prime minister.
That was funny last night. That was great. But yeah, back to the subject at hand.
Wage categories, wageless bracket, jobless youth.
Jobless youth. That is the jobless youth bracket.
Yeah.
And then there's the
Unemployed
youth
still
bracket.
pay tax to incentivize them to get jobs.
Get a job.
Get a job.
Wage bracket, all employee citizens, they will owe 23% of their income from wages. Alright, that's not too bad, I think. If, say, I earn
Yeah,
550,
I experimented with a bunch of different numbers. 23% seems fairest.
If I earn 400 a month, sovereign, I would pay about 85 or so.
Yeah.
There's a
86
stipulation.
sovereigns to the to the executive branch. That
But
seems a little high, but
Well, there's 100 minimum. So if you have 85, then you owe 100.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
So less.
So it's
tax
even
evasion.
higher.
Yeah,
FYI.
okay, cool. That is
But
in fact.
also, 400 sovereigns isn't really that much money.
Yeah, I don't think most wages do that. I need to calculate how much I earn per month actually. If I earn 350 per week, don't I?
Ooh la la.
350 per week due to Parliament and something additionally. I'm putting myself as an example, but I'm part of the like Melonian high class, so like
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, my own wage income is 3,112 sovereigns.
Jesus.
That's a monthly.
per month.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if we apply the tax, 716 sovereigns.
This article is way shorter than I expected it to be. I mean, like this bill.
Yeah, I guess it's because we really simplified tax.
Yes, very good. This will probably allow us to have citizens who don't really care that much about property tax. I mean, property tax was annoying, very annoying.
Yeah,
This one will still be kinda
even for the
annoying,
executive
but-
branch, because the form that we were using to calculate the tax was getting huge.
Oh yes, because of the amount of properties.
Yeah,
This time we'll only need the amount of companies or citizens who engage in. Well, I already know of that act that we do where we just make someone a company if
yep.
they engage in a lot of sales, for example.
Yeah, to give more context to that, if someone is making a lot of sales without like a company, then the executive branch has the ability to make a company in their name.
Yes. I think CS rejoined or who? I think
CS
it was
joined.
Yeah,
Did I
hello,
miss?
CS.
Hello, sister.
Well, I missed.
The bill.
All right.
So,
We
Yeah,
haven't
we
voted
got
yet,
rid
though.
of property tax. We did it, Melonians.
so like, what are we still like writing it or like?
No,
what
it's
do we-
done.
It's done. We're reviewing it now. Any corrections, etc.
um,
I managed to correct a loophole.
Oh, good job.
Well, a typo that would have allowed a loophole. So you have to do it in a span of 5 days. If you own a company, you must pay tax within like a span of 5 days, and pay tax like fill the tax form. So that's good. I imagine it was originally gonna be a span of 3 days, but I think that's very probably
Yeah,
not
that's-
that great.
It's a little small, especially because with people being busier, they may not have time to fill in the form.
I'm thinking, what if we make it so you can kind of like the previous system with property tax, we can postpone tax, but next month it would be higher. Perhaps we should do that in case someone is too busy to even have to fill it out in 5 days. I'm sure it's possible.
We kind of already have that. If the old sales tax is unpaid, the executive branch may charge the owner with tax evasion, but the court may drop it if the company owner is found to be unable to make an attempt to pay the sales tax.
Oh, okay. So this makes it juicier by adding a court case. I love it. Very good.
But yeah, what would happen is before, like, the court would probably just look at it, see if the person could have paid it and could have paid it reasonably.
This tax is valued in sovereigns, but may be paid with goods of an equivalent value, such as mallets, I imagine. If an arrangement is made
Mallets
with
and
the executive
sovereigns are the same value.
So, but may be paid with goods of an equivalent value. So, yes.
Is a mallet a good?
What?
Well, no, actually, a mallet is a currency. You're right.
No, wait, let me get on this. Oh
If
shit!
the- If the owed wage tax is only partially paid, the leftover money is wage shall be combined with the wage tax of the next month. Oh, so you can partially pay tax, but you'll be owing for next month. I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So over the
I
course
think we-
of 2 months, you would still owe the same amount, but 1 month would have more than the other.
If I'm
I see.
correct, that's like that was implemented with like a bill that was recent, like right?
I can't wait to be charged with tax evasion.
Because
Oh.
there was like a bill that was passed, like I don't know if it was this term or last term. It was like the tax thing where it's like, oh, if you can't pay it, or no, it's the inactivity thing, right? It's
Oh
if you're
yeah,
inact-
the bill
Is
pardon
that-
I
is-
wrote.
yeah, is that still implemented in this?
That
Uh,
was the second Tax Evasion Act, which is
So
removed from
is-
Malonian law with this bill and archived.
So, but that it will be implemented is what I'm saying.
The sections below shall be added. To
Not in the same way, but yeah,
But in spirit.
yeah.
All right.
Sock is getting DoorDash.
If van time is chosen as a sentence for this
Alright.
crime, 2 hours to 10 days for for fraud. My goodness.
Mm.
And
thought-
Yeah,
of course,
so
tax
the
evasion
idea
is-
with the 10 days and the 2 hours is some cases of fraud are going to be extremely minor, and some cases of fraud are going to be like insane.
and
So to
Tax
accommodate
evasion in
all of those
general-
possibilities, we have a large range.
tax evasion in general, I imagine, would be even heavier. As I can see, the ban can go to up to 10, 20 days.
Yep.
I have a question. So I don't fully read through this because I'm kind of late to the party. So what is ultimately changed from the bill, like the taxes on this one and the taxes of the last taxes? So there's no more property tax, right?
There's no more property tax. What you have is a sales tax levied against companies.
okay. So
That is 17% of company revenue, rounded up.
oh shit. Okay.
Also, every Malonian citizen owes a wage tax. So citizens are categorized into whether or not they're employed. Unemployed
Okay.
citizens owe 100 sovereigns every month.
So
Employed
sales tax-
citizens owe 23% of their wage income every month.
Sales
Unless
tax
it's
is-
below 100 sovereigns, then it's just 100 sovereigns.
Question: sales tax, the sales. I mean, is it really called this? Can you call it sales tax when it's like not really after the? Yeah, and never mind. Fuck. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So hypothetically, so this is so the tax is on the revenue, the profit, right? Or is it the revenue?
The
The
revenue.
revenue or the so the overall revenue, right? So that includes what they spend it on.
Yeah.
What they spend it. Okay. Hmm.
I think I like this bill, and I'm very happy that it's shorter than one would imagine. I expected like 10 pages, full of like mathematical equations and all.
But nothing's wrong with a little bit of mathematical equations.
Oh yeah, no, as well. The other issue with property tax was the amount of math. Well, it
This
wasn't.
might be
It
like
wasn't
my
too
own
difficult.
bias, but like
It wasn't too difficult. It was still kind of an inconvenience.
Oh.
not really. The math was Josephine did, but the math was mainly there to make it exact every time, and it's easy to put into a spreadsheet.
I like math.
Yeah, if a bill uses math, you know it's like a good bill.
All loan companies and organizations shall be required to disclose the following information: the revenue, the name of each employee, and how many sovereigns. So it is like a fucking whatever the hell those
Yeah,
forms are
pretty
called.
much.
Yeah.
Oh
We're
god.
gonna, I don't know. We're gonna call it the M3
Yeah, three. Why three?
because there are 3 pieces of information.
Well, why not M1? Because this is the first. There's only one form.
Oh, that's how that works.
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know
If it's
if
like a
it's
W2, there's a W3 and shit like that.
Then how do you explain there's also a 1099 form? And
Listen, I'm not part of the U.S. government.
I thought you were. Damn.
No. Stop trying to blow my cover. Goddamn.
Oh. Yeah, my bad.
Alternatively, we just call it the RMT form, Republic of Malonia tax form.
Alright.
So true.
These charges will be elaborate. Let me see the tax information. So this will. So you would need to ultimately have people like put down their I just got
So,
hit with a dimension real quick. Like actually keep track of the sales.
so there's two
So-
ways to do it. You can either manually keep track of the sales, or conduct all transactions in sovereigns, in which case you can track them with the command.
Well, I typically usually just put all my sales onto a spreadsheet to begin with. So
Yeah.
this is just towards to like corporations, right? So like if a
Just corporations.
all right, that answers my question. I do want to make sure that taxes are. Dude, I'm an American, so taxes are in my blood.
Also, my personal tax season is gonna be hell because I'm gonna have to write so many RMT forms. 4 companies I'm on, right?
Oh, so you have to write them. It's not like the company supplies them.
I'm the owner of those companies.
Oh, you're talking about your companies.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Makes sense.
Another thing worthy of note is for the wage tax that would apply to government officials as well.
I haven't gone there yet. I don't know about that. So tax collection is essentially the same, right?
Yep, pretty much.
It's just how the taxes are taxed.
It's just the calculations and the introduction of the form. At least for sales tax.
I mean, essentially, like we got different taxes now. It's not
Different
really
tax
say it's the same way.
systems.
Yes, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Alright, wage categories, all the Malone system. So this is if you're employed, not if you're an unemployed youth.
If you're an
In the
unemployed
basement.
youth, you will owe 100 sovereigns every month.
You owe 100 sovereigns?
Yep.
Oh damn, you're getting fucking taxed if you're poor. Goddamn.
The only reason we do that is to incentivize job hunting.
Jesus. Alright. But do you think 100
mean-
sovereigns? Because this is not gonna affect people who are inactive, right? Like Samuel or SNHK, right? Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So
there's-
somewhere here, we should state that the
So-
executive branch can make tax exemptions.
So when will ultimately when will the maybe I should actually read the bill instead of asking so many damn questions. But I want to ask this question. So I know that if it's like a month or something, you don't get like taxed. I don't know how exactly to phrase it, but I know what I'm talking about. I know that damn. My mind's completely blanking. Oh yeah. So after like a month or whatever, it's they'll fuck. They have the 400 like sovereign. You get what I'm saying. You probably don't, but say that. I'm having a hard time explaining what I mean, right? So here's what I'm trying to say. The inactivity system, right? So after they're done the inactivity, they will have to owe like however ballot sovereign. They have to it's every month. I thought never mind. Hey guys, did you know that reading's good for you?
It is.
Yeah.
The executive branch may choose to exempt a month of sales tax or wage tax levied upon any company, organization, or citizen.
I think I'm just like
So,
a
yeah.
little.
The
Are we
executive
sure
branch,
that's not gonna? Are we sure that's not gonna be
How
possibly
but how
possibly
so?
fall
How-
possibly fall for favoritism? unless we have a certain criteria to do so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how so, or is the executive branch going to choose the exemption?
All this clause does is keeps the idea of tax exemption the same as previously.
But it's very broad, I guess.
Yes, and
That's my
it
problem.
Yeah.
makes it so it's a
Like,
choice that it can
Technically,
make.
technically, a cabinet member is like Oddball. He's a cabinet member. He's part of the executive branch. He could tax exempt himself.
He can tax exempt himself unless the prime minister says no, you can't do that. If the prime minister
Well-
agrees with him, I can say no, you can't do
so
that.
So you have
So the
it's
executive
the prime
branch
minister.
has to go through its hierarchy.
So it's the prime minister then.
Not necessarily. It's just
Well,
whoever's like at the top, I guess. But like,
I think I just don't personally like the broad of the executive branch, way too, especially when we a lot of the times hammer down in the past on how is it done and who specifically does it, not just it's the executive branch. Oh yeah.
yeah, no, the executive branch is like
No.
any sort of office. There's like the big CEO at the top, the president, and then
President.
all of the cabinet workers, the office workers, they have a boss that isn't the CEO. That would be the prime minister.
This is a cow
manager.
analogy.
Say the manager.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. You got the CEO, the manager, the
Except
the
the cabinet
employee.
ministers are like not equivalent to the office workers. They're like because they can hire their own workers with prime ministerial approval.
I just want to make sure it doesn't get abused, essentially.
Idea. Parliament
Good.
would be able to vote to remove an exemption.
I think that's super majority.
Okay.
Super majority? I don't.
You
I
know,
don't. Super majority. What's a super majority again? Like unanimous decision?
No.
it's
A super
no,
majority, technically speaking, is anything above 51% and below 100%.
Oh, okay.
Typically, it's 67%.
I see. Sure thing. Maybe we should define the percentage just in case.
Well, yeah,
We do that every time we do a super majority.
Oh, okay, very good.
Because there's different types of super majorities. There's 67%, there's 75%.
Yes, it will also depend on the size of parliament, I presume.
I mean, the percentage is what creates that dependence on the size of parliament.
All right. So,
Yeah, okay, now I'm rocking with it.
No, we gaming.
Yep.
I still think it's best that we add a criteria instead of. I mean, yeah, it's best we add a criteria, but I suppose it's much better now because at least we can undo mistakes that, or even acts of favoritism when it undergoes such methods, of
Holy shit.
accepting someone's tax,
So, for example, the executive branch is probably gonna keep exempting the tax on the MBC because of how the MBC works. It's a public news
Big media.
station like across basically the ionosphere.
Uh-huh.
And it also like the news is free, so it's a good idea to allow them to keep delivering that news.
Okay. Question. So what is the wage bracket? Can I get an explanation for this wage bracket? Because I don't. Okay, so it's just if you're employed or unemployed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they're owed 23% of their income from wages within the previous month every month on the same day that the taxes is due. If 23% of the citizen's income from wages is less than 100 sovereign, citizen will owe 100 sovereign. Okay. So
The best way to explain it is that 100 sovereigns is the minimum.
yeah, I see. So if you are making okay, let's pull out the trusty iPhone calculator real quick.
iPhone.
So let's say you're making 100 melons per month, which 100 sovereigns per month, which I'm sorry to hear about that. And times it by 0.23, you owe 0.23. It would be, if it would be 23 sovereign, but then it's like, oh wait, that's you still owe the 100, which then that's all your wage. So I don't know why you get paid 100 per month. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I also like
Alternatively,
in
if you do have a wage that bad, then
I mean, it's really
it might be
it's
in
really
your best
just-
interest to obtain income through other ways, like selling stuff,
First, it's-
establishing your
first
own
it's really-
company.
First, it's really only hypothetical, and two, we don't have labor laws.
We don't have labor laws.
Bio.
But also 100, like as a flat
Vile.
number, is so much less than I would be paying for property tax as someone who is currently not making.
Yeah,
you know,
that's okay. That's 100% fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's low, it's high enough that like someone would need to do something about it, but it's
I'm really
low
only-
enough that it's not like horrible for people.
I'm really only coming at the angle of trying to understand. I'm not coming at an angle of trying to debate it. Right?
we got you.
It's for
Yeah.
like pure knowledge, really.
and for the record, government needs to make money. I gotta say it out.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
put it out there.
Yeah.
I need to see the Maloney government post a money spread.
Okay. I mean, we could do that.
No,
Slash
For legal
balance.
reasons-
Account name RM.
Hey, I'm
Not
richer
F-
than the
Effelimo.
Maloney. In Mellets.
Oh yeah, you are
Oh.
richer.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
Michael.
Would you mind donating out?
Listen, I'm paying taxes, man.
A small sum of $1 million.
I'm making a tax deductible donation to a museum. It's not tax deductible though. So it was
That's
Oh,
also
yeah.
very kind.
Donations under the system aren't taxed at all.
I always donate 69 sovereign or mellets pretty frequently. 'Cause
Where?
It's funny to the museum.
Oh, is that what you just donated?
Recently. And tax
yeah, we
collection is
are-
the same. Okay.
We're pretty low on
Okay.
money.
Yeah. I'm liking
Actually, I
this,
don't want to
but
say we're pretty low on money because
it's
50,000
it's-
sovereigns is still quite a bit. It's just not
But-
as much as we used to have, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have
Every-
anything about
We're running at a bit of a deficit.
question?
Yep.
Do we have anything about like inactivity people, right? Like the second tax revision?
If the old sales tax is unpaid, the executive branch may charge the owner of the company or organization with tax evasion. The court may drop this charge if the company owner is found to be unable to make an attempt to pay the sales tax.
All right. I'm okay. Now I'm really understanding it. I'm rocking with it.
Same applies to wage tax.
All right. Yeah. And that's under the tax collection, I'm assuming.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. And criminal charges. All right.
Can I ask a logistical question?
Go ahead.
So, since the business owners are the ones handling the wage tax, if I am hypothetically only an employee and not a business owner, I will never have to do taxes.
What do you mean specifically?
Meaning, like, if my boss does my taxes and all the calculations are done, then the government would just automatically take my 100 or that amount of percent. I don't have to fill out any forms as an employee, not a business owner.
Only company owners get the tax form.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the money processes and I never really see it.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. I like that.
That's something I really thought about because I can't make every citizen of this republic do a form. That's just so annoying, especially for
I know.
the inactive ones.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
We are discussing to verify the wages of the shall be used. So What exactly are we discussing now? I might have fell off for a bit.
I didn't hear what you said initially.
What addition did we make?
Oh, nothing. Siesta and I were asking logistical questions.
Oh, okay. I guess accepting the tax might come in handy when there's like a really inactive citizen who we know had 0 transactions whatsoever. So like,
Yep.
general thing, you know.
In general.
But maybe Parliament should be informed of tax by the Ministry of Finance.
Yeah.
So-
Should that be legalized or just done as tradition?
I think that should be legalized.
What's the question?
Make it-
Parliament
make-
must be informed on all of the exemptions that happen for tax.
Yeah.
That
yeah, I
makes
like
sense,
that.
especially since we're voting against it, hypothetically.
Like basically do like the form like we have for like the government bans, I guess. Like if you really, if you guys are okay with that, I get that it might be just a hassle, but
Parliament
You mean
must
like
be
the yay or
informed of
nay?
all tax exemptions and may vote to remove a tax exemption if they vote with a 2/3 supermajority.
Yep.
Legal.
Mm-hmm.
Legal, yes.
Yeah.
like
Scion time?
Scion. Hey, I was gonna make that joke. Get out of here.
They vote to remove a
Hey,
tax
it's
exemption
12
if they
sovereigns
vote.
a minute to make that joke.
Oh, I forgot. You hit me with.
All
I
right.
forgot.
I think the law's good now. I think we've having a clue of what everything says. I think we're good to go with this. Me personally.
Any other thoughts or questions or concerns regarding Bill 36?
Did we address everything Calvin was worried about?
For the record, let me read out what he was worried about.
Mhm.
The bill provides no incentive for public farms or properties anymore. I correct him a little bit. The Farm Registration Act still exists, so the farm tax still exists.
Yeah, but
Like
he's
farm
talking.
registration is nice if you want to build something in the middle of nowhere. That way it's protected. But like it's cheaper just to buy a property than build automatic stuff on it now due to properties not being taxed, but farms do get taxed. Then on the public property scene, there's no financial incentive to investing into public properties anymore, unless that section is reworded to give some tax discount.
Okay, but I think isn't it required that you register a farm if you do that sort of stuff?
No.
In that act,
No.
it's not.
Yeah, if you register
can-
a farm, it is private. I mean, if you don't register, it's private automatically.
No, if you
So,
don't
no,
register,
it's
it's public.
That's what
Yeah.
I meant. Yeah.
So you can't reasonably claim ownership of it if it is unregistered. I mean, you can claim the blocks, but not like. But people will be allowed to use the farm because you
Yeah.
didn't register it.
And then
Alright.
once it's private, then they pay
So
additional taxes on, or not taxes.
Yes,
Are
Then
taxes.
they pay taxes
Okay.
on it.
Okay, but those are separate from the wage tax.
Yep.
Okay.
So essentially, we don't have a property tax anymore. Is what I'm saying. What I'm hearing.
Yes, that's the goal.
Alright.
I don't know what he means by it's cheaper just to buy a property than build automatic stuff on it now. If you're gonna build automatic stuff, then
It's still a farm.
no
Right.
matter if it's on a property or not, it's gonna get taxed if you register it. And if you don't register it, it's for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's what he was not understanding is the fact that there would be like we're not abolishing taxes. We're just abolishing the property tax. I think he was like, "Oh, now you just have to pay 100 and I'm good to go on the server," which is not true.
Well, I think what he's trying to get at is how the discount, because there's the tax incentive. So how's the tax incentive going to work if it's not based on the property tax? I guess. Essentially, oh shit.
But it's true that the whole thing with private versus public farms is the amount of stuff that you're getting item wise worth paying money for. If it is, then privatize it. If it's not, then don't. In my humble opinion.
Humble.
In your
Alright.
Bumble
Humble.
opinion.
Bumblebee.
Buzzy the Bee.
Fuzzy the Bee? Holy shit, guys.
Possibly.
Oh, full circle.
Humble fuck.
Fizzy the Wasp.
What?
Wow.
Okay. All right. So, anything else in mind?
Um,
Hmm.
I'm
I don't
guessing
know if we
Calvin won't
want
be
to
able to
write the
join the meeting.
Corruption Act right now. I think
Uh,
we've done enough for today. I want to feel like the good taste of a short parliament.
Do we
meeting.
have any other discussions though?
if we agree to it, we can do a little bit of work on Constitutional Amendment 7.
Oh, that's a big
The-
boy. I think we really need like a whole day for that one. Because we still need to like go through like what do we want, what do we need, how we put it into writing, right?
Constitutional
And I feel like
Amendment
That's fair.
7.
It's gonna be a big bill, especially when it's like a big revision of the judicial branch.
Oh, right, the judicial branch. And there we can also put the whole citizen thing, which
Yeah.
we talked about earlier,
Last time
What
that ended in
citizens
like a
thing?
big fight, right?
regarding the consideration for older citizens who renounce to their citizenship. The consideration for older citizens who renounce to their citizenship and come back later.
Oh,
Uh,
stuff that was
For,
discussed.
for their for their rights to be reconsidered as any other citizen.
Question.
Yes.
Was yesterday's stuff recorded?
No,
It was not.
It was an extremely informal meeting.
Okay. Just curious, because I know that you're talking about stuff that was talked about yesterday, and I was not there.
It was characterized by me dissing Taba, and vice versa.
Right. Okay.
So we are still all in favor of that, right?
Potentially.
Of what, sorry?
Of the idea that citizens should be allowed to, citizens who renounce to their citizenship should be allowed to have bear the same rights as if they didn't renounce to the citizenship if they were to reapply. For example,
I say yes with two caveats. The first one is they actually should have had to have served their full time when they were a first time a new citizen. They should have actually been a citizen long enough where they did gain those rights in the first place. And second of all, I kind of feel like it could be on a case by case basis because, like, you know, what happened with Josephine Gray and all that.
Yeah.
I am more inclined to go on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
Because the more, like, again, I wasn't there yesterday, but the more I think about it, the more reasons to not give those rights I can think of than just across the board universally giving them. So that's my stance
why
on
exactly why is exactly your concern? Some of your concerns, at least.
I guess it's just like I haven't been here that long, to be totally honest with you, but the first person that kind of comes to mind is like Osbam and his run for parliament. And I mean, there was a lot of wishy-washiness with that, you know.
I mean, he kind of like his run for parliament was just kind of bullshit because like he was not like serious at all.
But he garnered votes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
And you know, I mean, a similar instance could happen where hypothetically there's a new nation that someone left Malonia because they didn't agree with Malonia. They went to that other nation and then they come back, and if deemed like clean slate, we don't know anything about their intentions, and now they garner votes because everyone else that they're friends with is in Malonia, and boom, they're in parliament, and they could have bad intentions. So I really think it depends on the character of the citizen as much as anything, like character and history and reason for leaving in the first place.
We've already formalized the case by case basis when we forbid Josephine Gray the right to hold political office.
No, that's a different thing. That's a government ban.
Josephine is not even. That's like a whole act. Government bans. I don't know the actual name of it, but you get the point. But that's not a case by case really, because there is kind of like an automatic thing in that bill. It's like if you commit like this type of crime, you will be a candidate for a government ban.
Yeah. So overall, don't get me wrong, Legate. Like, I'm not saying I'm super against like them running for office, because I'm not. I don't like universally across the board saying, "Oh yeah,
No.
I'm cool with anyone who wants to willy nilly come in and out as they please."
We
That's
should
what I'm not
be-
cool with.
This is gonna sound Kurnish as fuck, but we should be able to take off certain rights of citizens that are extremely harmful. No, that's coming off the wrong way. That's coming off the wrong
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like,
They
emphasize what you're looking for. Emphasize.
Oswim is, for example, a case. Josephine is also another case that I can think of regarding
Like,
that.
what rights are you specifically trying to restrict, though?
Case by case. I mean, you know,
But
I think that's
really
kind of
I
the
would really like an example though, because restricting the right to vote, nah, not rocking with that, personally.
Oh yes, the right to vote should be always universal.
Yeah, but if it's like freedom to hold, we don't really have a right, like the freedom to hold the political office. Like we even got the bans thing, so you know it's not.
Yeah.
But because Josephine and SNH case ban, I think SNH case banned from it.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually isn't.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah, I don't know, like after like the conversation I had with him and the way he conducted himself in court, like I think I pardoned him. I don't remember.
SHK is a interesting
Because
individual.
like he just like got fired up by the MR propaganda and just didn't know what the CBP was actually about. He
Whoop.
apologized for it. He was respectful. If he was ever interested in governing again, I think he would be able to handle it.
Yeah.
How does
I
the
fe-
CBP keep getting wrapped up in all these different cases?
Because it keeps because
It keeps
opposition parties
happening.
keep doing propaganda.
Maybe don't say that right now.
No, I'm just
Mm,
saying.
What?
I don't like. No, no.
I would say
I'm
that
stating a fact.
the current DUP propaganda is probably much friendlier, at least, than Melania Reborn.
I wasn't here for Millennial Reborn.
It was
Yeah,
bad.
it was a fun time.
It was a terrible time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrorism happened.
The terrorism, people almost got sued, you know, the worst thing.
I remember this shit happened when I was like at doing a basketball game, and I'm like, fuck, that's fun. That's great.
Language.
Also, I have like a curse where none of
Great,
my
that's
political
fun, that's
parties
I'm
actually
kidding. I'm
succeed.
kidding.
Smile.
Smile.
I have like a curse where none of my political parties succeed. Like, be me, create Barrett. 5 days later, Bannerman creates DUP, kill myself.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'll be honest with you. I think that would be the exact same thing that would happen to me if I were to ever,
Wait,
try to
what?
get in on the political scene. What?
What, the killing yourself part?
No, I meant that I also would have a lot of bad luck in terms of starting a party. I'm not the
Okay.
face of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
This is getting out of hand.
Okay,
Are we
that
gonna
is-
vote
Wow.
on this bill?
we seem to be a little off
Yeah,
topic.
Yeah, are we gonna vote on 36?
Thank you for your. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that was getting way out of control.
Well, I'm very sorry about that. Yeah.
Apology accepted, Mr. MP. So with that in mind, may we please move to the vote now? Is there, if anyone else doesn't have any actual concerns regarding Bill 36? Okay, we'll do roll call. MP Legate, your vote.
Aye.
Siestro 216. Okay.
I thought you heard me the first time.
It did not come across. Oddball is currently not here, but we'll get his vote later. MP Sock, your vote.
Aye.
Okay. Mr. President, are you gonna sign the bill?
Oh. Fiestra, what you doing? What you
What do you mean, what am
doing?
I doing? You gotta sign it. This is.
Uh-huh.
Who's signing in the
Yeah.
Speaker of
What do you mean?
Parliament?
Yeah.
is on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
blind. I
Honest-
can't read.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's my
I'm
bad.
not-
The signatures should all be on one page.
Just me now.
So
Listen, I saw Parliament. I saw signature. I was wondering, why is it blank? See,
CC Ezra.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine.
This is chaos. Can I get some order in here, please?
May I request some
No.
order?
Denied.
Oh, denied!
We're
Free
falling-
reign!
We're falling in chaos.
Can I
But
get?
yeah,
Can I get a?
I would like to speak
order
for a
with
moment.
fries toasted?
Okay. Actually, no. Order, please. Thank you.
So, ordinarily, we do have a majority. I would approve the bill. However, I would like to have Oddball's thoughts on it.
Okay.
That's fair.
So, are you vetoing it?
I am
Or are you
not
just holding on?
vetoing it. I am just not signing it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Filibustering.
I
Pocket veto.
Oddball should get home in a couple hours, so the bill shouldn't be delayed too much because of this. And
Alright.
if the bill is passed like a day or two late, then we still have plenty of information to get time to get information. Words.
That's alright.
Speaker of Parliament, Siestra 216.
So yeah, I will leave the president's signature out for the moment, and then I would like to hear Oddball's thoughts, specifically because Oddball has an eye for making sure that everything makes sense.
This bill most directly helps Oddball.
True,
Glove.
true,
Like-
true.
Like, I'm kind of speaking
Because
out
I mean,
my arm with this.
you could see it as like corruption, but you could also see it through the lens of Oddball makes no
still-
money because of taxes. It's like genuinely sad.
It's a
Yeah, it's fun.
So, okay,
Alright.
understood. I
Okay.
accept your not signing.
I accept the apology.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I accept
could you
your
please? Could you,
abstinence.
okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna make a speaker-torial request to the president that you please provide a message for Parliament when you do decide to if you do decide whether or not to sign the bill.
Can do.
Okay. Any other thoughts or concerns that need to be addressed right this second?
9.
I don't think we have
Uh,
any.
So hold on, citizens have to fill in the form, right?
Yeah, no.
Business owners.
Business owners.
Business owners. Oh, so for common citizens who fall under, say, the wage bracket, the government just calculates it on their own.
Yeah, they use the information of how many sovereigns each employee was paid in the previous month and the names of the employees working for said company or organization. They use the combination of those two bits of information.
Is the migration
create
office
the-
included, for example?
All government jobs will be taxed.
All right. Very well.
Okay.
I approve.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. With that in mind, I will now pass forward the motion to end this meeting. So all members in favor say aye.
I
Hi.
Aye.
don't like Sunday
Mm,
meeting.
Any opposition
Me
say
neither.
nay.
Any ops?
Not really opposition, just would like to ask one question.
Okay, go
Mhm.
ahead.
So we're really sure that we don't want to work on anything else this meeting?
Not
I
this meeting, no.
Not on a work night.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough, then I.
All right. Any other objections to ending the meeting?
We love you, Scion.
Okay, this meeting is officially adjourned. Good day.
Hooray.
Good night.
All right.